Anyone who's played Fallout 3 knows that Liberty Prime is the pinnacle of Brotherhood of Steel weapons technology. It's really the key moment in Fallout 3's main storyline that really draws you in. Now, I thought I would test out Liberty Prime's abilities using the console commands against some of the toughest NPCs in the game. In this instance, I originally thought they were gunner corporals. They're actually gunner colonels who are even tougher than the corporals. They have the ability to cloak using stealth boys, they have energy weapons, and just looking at them you can see they're equipped with a good amount of body armor as well, so they're by no means pushovers. The first round here features 50 of them in 3 separate battles recorded and mixed together here in this clip sequence. And just one Liberty Prime is up against all 50 of these things, and this really displays the sheer awesome might of Liberty Prime. It's truly the ultimate weapon. It's very imposing, it's an awesome sight, and it's one of the coolest things that Bethesda has added not only to Fallout 3 but to Fallout 4 as well. Now, just looking at this fight, it's pretty clear that these gunners, powerful though they may be, really don't stand a chance. There's some awesome weapons effects to be sure, between the radiation blasts and the energy blasts. They light up Liberty Prime like a Christmas tree, but it really doesn't seem to be having much of an effect. These ash piles on the arena floor are testament to the sheer firepower of this behemoth. It's a lot like the Iron Giant movie, if any of you remember that. It's a pretty cool design for this giant Brotherhood of Steel robot. And these gunners are simply no match for the area of effect laser blast that shoots from the eye, kind of like Cyclops and X-Men. It absolutely disintegrates these gunners. And the occasional concussive blast from a grenade, the gamma radiation, the gamma weapon, and the, I can't tell if they're laser or plasma weapons, I guess they're laser weapons. They really just have no effect on this gigantic robot. And so Liberty Prime was pretty much just cleaning the deck with these gunners. Again, these are high-level gunners, but you know, at this point, even with 50 of them, 50 to 1, it's just a pure display of the firepower at Liberty Prime's disposal. And you know, it's just fun to watch. You see this overhead view here, it casts an enormous shadow. Pretty much the shadow crosses the entire battlefield. The ash piles are littering the entire floor, and these last few gunners really just don't stand a chance. It's just visually spectacular, but in terms of drama, there is none whatsoever. The fight is pretty much preordained as a Liberty Prime victory, and so I guess you could say America prevails. One thing that you're not hearing in this recording, since I lowered the volume of the actual gameplay, are some of the hilarious things that come out of Liberty Prime's mouth. It spouts propaganda while it's attacking enemies, and so you hear these polemics against communism, attacks on China, and overall boasts about American victory. It's pretty funny. And you know, when I was recording this, I had a bit of a laugh just listening to everything while all of this carnage was going on. Just the way things spawn in this game, even using the console and game pause commands, you can't help but spawn the gunners in a big cluster. It would take an absolutely enormous battlefield for these 100 gunners to be dispersed enough to really scatter and have much of a chance here. And so with each individual attack by Liberty Prime, just disgusting numbers of gunners fall down or crumpled or flung across the battlefield. Huge chunks of them get disintegrated with these incredibly powerful blasts. Now the character I was using to spawn these gunner colonels is, I want to say, almost level 60. I don't know whether that has an impact using the console spawn commands, but regardless, these are not pushover enemies. These things would chew through most other enemies in the game. But Liberty Prime is altogether another beast. As you can see, it's towering, and it seems completely unfazed by these little laser attacks. The armor is apparently strong enough to resist pretty much all damage from these gunners. I had turned off God mode. I don't know whether the command I used to spawn Liberty Prime rendered it invulnerable or not. That part I couldn't tell. When I checked in VATS, and it's not shown here, but when I checked in VATS, it didn't really seem to have sustained much damage, if any at all. Maybe it's invulnerable, if so, my mistake. But regardless, it's a fun video to watch. It's an awesome display of the different attacks. It can crush these enemies simply by walking over them. But really the primary attack is this enormous red laser beam that shoots from the eyes, and it can take down maybe 5 to 10 gunners at a time if it's well placed. So there you have it. The video is going to continue on a little longer. This fight, again, is comprised of 3 different fights. I wanted to get a sample from different battles just to make sure I get the same result each time. And in fact I did. In each of these battles, whether it was 50 gunner colonels or 100 gunner colonels, the result was never in doubt. Liberty Prime is an awesome construction, and the gunners, although an impressive group themselves, really just didn't have a prayer here. And so you come down to the last few holdouts, who, to their credit, are fighting. I think one even tried to use its weapon as a melee weapon just there, but nothing works. They don't have anything in their arsenal like a fat boy or a rocket launcher that can do any damage to this thing. And I'm not ruling out that there's some kind of quirk to Liberty Prime, the way I spawned it, that would render it invulnerable, but frankly, I think it makes the video more entertaining just to see this thing in action against pretty respectable enemies. And in this second half of the video, again, it's facing off against 100 enemies. It really doesn't really make too much of a difference whether it's 50 or 100 gunners. These things get shredded really quickly. These guys, they fight bravely, but it's all for naught. So that's all I can really say about it. Liberty Prime's really cool. Search the Wikia for the console commands and the spawn code for Liberty Prime if you want to play around with this yourself. As far as I know, it's an allied NPC, and so it shouldn't attack you, at least if you're friendly with the Brotherhood. So have at it, and good luck experimenting and just coding in the carnage here. This was just pure mayhem, and it was fun to watch, it was fun to record, and hopefully you enjoyed the video. So thanks for watching.